When the Ten of Wands shows up in a reading, think about accomplishment, responsibility, duties, stress, obligation, even burning out in struggles. The Ten of Wands shows a man that has ended up with a heavy load, burdens of work and lots of responsibility. Perhaps he should learn to delegate some of the load and refuse worries that are not his to carry. He appears to be weighted down with back-breaking concerns, but he's still persevering. He's still moving forward. Some of his plans may not reach fruition. This card indicates oppression and sometimes failure concerning ambitions, often because the seeker has bitten off more than they can chew. Enterprises and goals are not completed because of the overcommitment on the seeker's part that leaves no time to fulfill them. When this card comes up, warn the seeker of all of this so that total failure can be avoided. This card shows that you have already completed the circle of struggle. And after spending so many resources and lots of energy looking for success, you have finally overcome the obstacles. You can wipe the sweat off your brow. It was all worth it, though. Your efforts have finally been rewarded. And you may find yourself living in a world of abundance, where poverty and suffering have no chance to intervene. So it is a positive card in a way, because it speaks of the abundance that is there, but it also speaks of doing too much and focusing your energy on things that you don't need to be. So although it sounds marvelous and satisfying, there's a lot of responsibilities on your side. And this is the card of the problem solver, which means that when this comes up in a reading, you are now the problem solver in your circle of family, your friends, which can even propel you into another world of challenges. At this point, you are also flooded with responsibilities to maintain your success. The business that you have started is starting to flourish. It's flourishing, but it's also keeping you on your toes. The main problem is that these issues can overwhelm us if we lose control, which requires us to make sure that we know how to prioritize and solve the relevant ones. So remember, this is a card of taking a look at what you need to prioritize. There's too much going on. A lot of times in a health reading, this will represent back or even spinal or muscular or skeletal issues. So someone bad back shows up in here, how's your health? And it shows this. It's usually a bad back or some kind of skeletal or muscular pain. And this is because they are overextending themselves with worries, with pressure, responsibility, and physical overexertion. So these circumstances can bring on other illnesses. This card is also known as a failure card because someone else's will could win out over the power of the seekers. So this, depending on the surrounding cards around it, it could show that someone else's will is getting in the way. Now, when this card comes up, Ten of Wands comes up in a relationship, someone's asking about love, then it means that one of the people in the relationship is actually carrying a heavy burden of love. the responsibility that this relationship seems to have on one person, and that stress creates relationships in stress creates issues in the relationship. In an upright career meaning, it can mean that they're overworked and their work burdens are being carried alone, and that they should actually ask for help from other colleagues or people around them. And in a financial reading, it means that they are carrying heavy financial burdens, that they should actually avoid large expenses, and that they may feel like they're juggling and struggling daily, but you do want them to keep moving forward, right? And reprioritize, but move forward, because this is a place of mastery and abundance. So in some way, they need to be able to connect to something that just helps them feel more fulfilled in what they're focusing on.